human experience. Well, welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. It's a 2-hour safe haven for your questions and Spirit's answers, and you can transform your life. Right now on WHFS in Tampa and WWNN in South Florida, Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium who can assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. For the next 2 hours, listen and call in toll-free, 888-565-1470, 888-565-1470, and watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and share love and light.
Oh, yes, indeed. There is a light right here on WWNN, 1470 AM, 95.3 FM and 96.9. And you're also listening to us on WHFS, 1010 AM 92.1 and 103.1. We're so glad to be connecting with all of you tonight. We're having some conversations with God. Have you ever sat in your room and had a conversation with God? You know, just kind of dialed up and said, yo, God, we got some things to talk about. Well, I think as a world, as a collective consciousness, we've got quite a bit of conversation to have with the divine. And I want to hear from you and what your conversations with the divine have been and how we can structure our communication in a way that we can co-create and shift our own individual consciousness, our frequency that we send out, and in turn make a difference in the world. But many of our conversations that we have with God are spent sometimes complaining, sometimes feeling like, how did I get myself into this mess, God? And I hope you got a plan to get me out. And then there are those times where we're just in that despair, that conversation that we don't understand how things have happened the way they have. Something unexpected happens. Very often when I talk with different people, they say, I don't feel like God is listening to me, Sarah. They are feeling this despair and this dismay, and as if they've been forsaken and that no answer is coming because they find themselves sucked up into a turmoil or a experience that they just can't find their way out of. Perhaps it's a grieving parent who can't quite see how they're ever going to find joy and live their life without their dear child. Or maybe it's you, a loss of a loved one that has you feeling as if it doesn't make sense. How could God let this happen? We've all had our conversations with God. Many of us have begged God, God, I promise, if you just get me out of this mess, I'm going to do better. God, I promise, if you help me in this financial moment, I'll make better choices. God, I promise, if you heal me, I will change my life. You see, we've been conditioned to do so many things in this world, and some of us have felt this desire to do things that we knew were testing fate, but we did them anyhow. Many people have perhaps, been in a situation where they know that they were drinking too much for a period of time in their life, or maybe they kind of crossed some lines of substance abuses, and they took that chance. But shall we say lucky or blessed are they that were able to pull themselves back from the turmoil and temptation that is associated with all of the substances that can kind of suck you into this dark abyss of energy. And then we say, wow, God, you saved me. Some of us, even as teenagers, maybe we were out with some friends and maybe we didn't stop to think that the people driving the car maybe shouldn't have been driving the car. Now looking back as adults, we say, wow, we took some chances. Even sometimes just going on that sled, on that hill that your parents told you not to go on because there were too many trees, and if you didn't manage your sled well, you were going to head first into a tree. And they told you could be knocked unconscious and tried to scare the life out of you. But did that really work? No, and nobody was looking. Sure enough, there you were with your sled, sliding down the wonderful snow at high speed, no less, knowing that you could do turns all around all those trees, landing in the snow at the end of the run and laughing. But would you have been laughing if something had changed in the story? Would you have been laughing if life threw you the curveball that you didn't anticipate? And are we laughing now because life has thrown us all a curveball? Quite a few, actually. And I'm sure there are people who just don't understand the devastation, the injustices, don't understand the disease that travels the world, shutting everything down and not allowing us to be the people we thought we were. But nothing's really changed inside of you. It's just how we handle and interpret the external world now. If anything, this should have created a much more resilient connected being of character from within. This has been the conversation with God for a year and a half. God telling you, be still, and us saying, but I don't want to. I want to go back to the way it was. And God says, just give us a moment. It'll all right itself. But you need to seek counsel at a higher level. Don't just lose yourself in what you've lost. Be grateful for what you've gained, and be grateful for the breath of life. See, some of the conversations we've had, and I know many of you wake up and you shared with me that you wake up and you say, thank you, God. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this breath of life. Thank you for my children, my family, my health, my career, my financial wellness. Thank you for the food on the table. Many of you do that. But what are your conversations with God when you're in your quiet moment? The moment when no one's looking and all of life that's a stage closes its curtain. What's your conversation like behind closed doors? When the theater of life is emptied and it's just you and God, what are those conversations? You see, those are the conversations that make the difference. Those conversations when you surrender and you truly say, I know not that I know not. So show me, guide me, lead me. Give me the strength to persevere. Give me the wisdom to know beyond my human intellect. Give me the truth of the reality that's before me, and how I can best navigate what I'm living, and then how I can help others on the path. And there are those tears that come, those tears in the moment of surrender when we just can't really do much more. No matter what job we've taken, it didn't end well. No matter what relationship we might have had, just wasn't the right one. No matter what remedy we tried in our health, we're still afflicted with the same maladies in the physical body. We still are struggling. Those are the conversations that we have with God in the times when God has our attention. God knows when you have done all that you can and you can't do it anymore. And that's when the human personality wants to give up. And at times, the human ego will choose to persevere, but not for the reasons that benefit the human, but for the reasons to prove other people wrong. It's never a reason to do anything. It's a reason to show the world your outside personality. Sometimes many of us have fallen on a path of things we had to do to prove other people wrong, only to take us to places that we realized we never wanted to be. No matter where you are in the journey, complete gratitude and bliss, or on your knees right now, God's got the whole world's attention. The world is changing, and everything around us is almost surreal. And we have to ask ourselves, what do we truly value? What friendships do you hold near and dear? What aspects of yourself do you truly love? And what is the meaning of the breath of your life? What have you come to bring to the table? And how are you going to make the shift to the life that you really want to have regardless of the outside circumstances? How are you going to provide for your family, live in joy and peace and not in fear? How are you going to maintain great health? What are you going to do in this time? And then when this all passes, for this too shall pass, how are you going to come out the other side a greater, better, more aligned, filled with love, joy, and harmony individual? How do you become that? And how do you leave your burdens at the door, never to pick those bags up again? See, some of us, our conversations with God are riddled with past stories of baggage that we've been carrying around and worn almost as a badge of honor, a purple heart for the wounds that we have endured in a life that has been a life of maybe personal injustices, dysfunctional situations, horrendous experiences, even traumatic. And we've learned to use that as our ability to get people to notice and connect with us. But there comes a time when that story no longer defines you, for you outgrew it the minute you overcame it. But we carry it around as the conversation piece of, look where I've been. But you know it's written that if you turn around, you'll turn to a pillar of salt. So why is it that we keep going to the past and telling the stories of the past? Positive or negative? Why is it that 50 years later we're still telling the story of when we were 12 years old? What is it that makes experiences that are so conditioning and personality forming that we have to use those stories as part of the new person that we've been evolving into our whole entire life? Our whole life is filled with opportunities to bring about change and to shift to a higher knowing and being, but we keep talking about the past. And we tune out the messages of the future because we are so content with how we either handled the past or what we accomplished in the past that we truly are unable to envision a future different from what we know. And therefore, we're caught in a box. We're caught in a cycle. And that's how so many of us got caught off guard during these times. We were so caught up in being the person that we had conditioned ourselves to be that we never really took the time, made the time, to recognize who we are inside and the power that is within. And that regardless of the adversities that come before us, that we have the courage, the wisdom, the truth, the light and the love to survive. We are all powerful beings, abundant and immeasurable. You have a power. But I want to hear if you were to talk to God and have your conversation with God. We know our past conversations. Some of them have been pretty interesting. Some of them could have been a reality television show, our conversations with God. Sometimes I think God puts us on hold and says, okay, well, we're going to let you figure that out and get back to me. But what are your conversations with God? What have you been saying? And if God were here as one of us, just a stranger on the bus, what would you want God to know? We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. And then when we come back, we're going to go to the phone lines and answer your questions at 888-565-1470. We're going to talk to our friends on Facebook and YouTube. We're going to answer your questions there as well. And we're going to get to roll up our sleeves and really understand the meaning of our purpose and our true heart's conversation with God. So stay with us, everyone. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on WHFS and on WWNN in South Florida. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you know my voice? Did you call me with your soul? Because you know that you know me. Every soul has its story, like a movie play.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470. Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
We've got a feeling you'll want to listen to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. for insightful, intuitive messages on WHFS. Sarah Spiritual is a spiritual advisor and transformational coach who will assist you. Join Sarah Spiritual for a powerful hour of life's questions and Spirit's answers. I've got a feeling you'll love Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, 6 to 7 p.m. Wednesday. Got the feeling? Just call 888-565-1470.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? Did you call me with your soul? Because you know that you know me. Every soul has its story, like a movie playing in a different theater.
Yes, indeed. Their characters, they turn water into wine. Because do you know me? I am Sarah Spiritual, and we are spiritually speaking to all of you all across the nation at 888-565-1470. And we're really glad to connect with all of you in Tampa and in South Florida. We're going to say hi to our friends on Facebook and on YouTube. Be sure to put your questions in the comments. We will be answering your questions as we move forward. But first, we're going to go to the phone lines, 888-565-1470. You get a busy signal, just know you need to keep trying till you get through, and Spirit and I will get your questions answered. So I've got to go to Connecticut. We've got someone who's rather impatiently waiting in Connecticut. We've got Danette. Danette, how are you?
Hi, Sarah. I'm sorry to bother you, but I've been praying so much lately. My aunt had brain surgery twice.
Yes.
And now she was unresponsive, and then she was doing good for a whole week, and now when my cousin went and
visited her, yes,
did the visiting, but I was FaceTiming because I can't get on there because I have no car.
Right.
And
Danette, your aunt is not doing well. What is her birthday?
Her birthday is December 21st.
Okay.
I don't know the year, 1920-something.
Okay.
a 30.
Yeah. Her energy is very, very faded, and I see the angels around her. It makes me feel as if, her spirit is tired. I'm not God. I can't
Yeah.
make any choices for her. I just do know that her energy is faded, and it is not a long time that she's going to share this experience of life with us. So anything you can do to connect with her on FaceTime, or if someone gives you a ride in these next short period of time, few days or so, then do so if you can. If not, know that her soul is ready. She's tired.
Yes.
And she's been fighting for a very long time. The past 6 months
Yes.
have been a downward spiral for her. This makes sense to you, yes?
Yep.
Jeanette?
Yes, definitely.
Yes. And so when I look at the energy around her, I can just say that the angels are there, so you can ask Archangel Raphael to give her the healing that she needs and the comfort that she needs during this very difficult time, Danette. There's really nothing anyone can do, and not much I can tell you that most likely you don't already know.
I know. I even told my cousins that it's not good, and I didn't really want to say anything, but I know she's not going to make it. My son even said that we'll probably, if she makes it by Saturday, we don't know. I mean, she's fighting, but...
But we have to do this, and I always tell people, don't, and that's why I'm careful what I say. Energy is created by words. So don't put your energy, your deadlines on it. Just ask God. Your conversation with God would be that your aunt lives in peace, and if she chooses to stay on earth, that she does not suffer, and she has a quality of life. And if she chooses to let go of the essence of the physical experience and resume her connection with God, then therefore that she does not suffer. That's the conversation that we have with God
about that. That's what I've been saying.
Yes,
I've been praying so much lately.
All right, Danette. Well, thank you so much for your
Thank
your
you,
question.
Sarah. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
888-565-1470 from Connecticut. I've got to just take a few-hour drive. I've got to go to Maine. I've got Jasmine on the line. Jasmine, how you doing?
Hi, Sarah. I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So your birthday's coming up in just a short time, and this year is going to really represent you finding your balance again, getting back in your rhythm, finding the energy that helps you flow and find your divine potential. And I see you balancing personal and creating career. And I also see you being more connected to the divine and really asking the angels and the guides to open the doors up for opportunities, Jasmine. So what's your question for us?
Yes. I'm just wondering how if next week will be the best time for me to go, because I'm pretty much almost ready. I'm almost finished packing. And I'm ready to get back to Florida.
Well, when I look at the energy around here and I look at what we have, the very best time would be for you. Are you planning to leave in the beginning of next week? Is that the thought?
Like probably Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. That'll be perfect. That'll be a perfect time for you to go.
Okay.
And you'll be all set to make the journey here. And then the doors of opportunity will open up for you. You'll find that people are able to help you a little more easily if you're physically here. And things will come together for you perfectly.
Okay. Can I just ask one more thing?
Yes.
So I met somebody, just wondering if his energy connects with mine for a line, like soulmates.
Okay.
I feel like we might be.
What is his name?
His name is Massimo.
And the birthday, please?
8/9/71.
Well, very strong presence with this person, very strong energy. They, too, are rebalancing, recalculating their life. I feel like they went through a lot of major changes in 2018, and that was kind of a revamp for them. They're a very strong personality. You will find many connections with them in common. Just don't know if the personality is going to, in the end, be a little too strong for you. That we will have to see. But a very very good-hearted individual, very friendly, very kind, very compassionate. But they have a strong side, and it depends how it clashes with you.
Okay.
But I do feel that it's a nice connection, so pursue the connection.
Okay.
All right, my dear. Thank you so much, Jasmine. Safe travels from Maine to sunny South Florida. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye. 888-565-1470. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and we're answering questions all across the nation about life, life's questions, career, love, and, of course, we're talking to our angels. Speaking of angels, we're going to see how many angels we've got on our Facebook page and our YouTube page. We're going to take a look and see who's got a question for us. So let's see who we've got there. We've got on our Facebook page, we got Christella, and she says, hey, will I be moving home and will I get the insurance money? So the first thing that I see here for you is that this is a year of new beginnings, fresh starts, clean slate, and you kind of step into your power of your personality coming soon. And that energy of who you are, who you've come to be, the divine right that is yours is going to come to pass. And I feel as if between now and your next birthday, you'll be making a move. And the actual move seems closer to the end of the year than it does in this next few weeks or 2 months. So let's look for the move to happen closer to the months of November, December into January. And the money, according to the insurance, well, they're going to drag their feet. But yes, I do see money coming to you. So thank you, Christella, for your Facebook question. We're going to take another question from our friends on Facebook and YouTube. We got Holly Costanza Donaldson. Holly Costanza Donaldson, she says, hey, Sarah, I have a new job. And what does Spirit say? Is it going to be good for me? And thank you so much. She likes my blouse, so thank you for that compliment. So when I look at you, Holly Costanza Donaldson, the first thing I see is this job is going to give you opportunity to express yourself, to grow, to use your creative talents. This year for you is a time for you to rebuild, restore, and revitalize your life. And when I move you into 2022, and it'll be here before we know it, everyone, 2022 for you, Holly Costanza Donaldson, is a year of loving relationships, family, and really stepping into your personal truth. So Holly Costanza Donaldson, congratulations on the new job. You're going to shine like a diamond, and keep looking for those opportunities in the company because it'll be a great way to grow. Bye for now, Holly Costanza Donaldson. We're going to go back to the phone lines at 888-565-1470. And let's see, I've got to go to France. And France is in West Palm Beach. France, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good to connect to you, my dear. You've got some really powerful soul searching that you've been doing. You're kind of stepping into the meaning of life, your purpose, and your conversations with God, which you seem to be having quite a few at this time. Is that correct?
Yes.
It is. I know. Everybody's talking at me. That's poor God going, I only hear the voices in my mind. Because God hears everyone talking. And you've been doing a lot of talking because you're asking for the roads to be opened up, for things to kind of move you forward. Does that make sense to you?
You're right on the money.
And I am so connected to your guides and your angels. I also see that they are spending time with you in the dream state. And you kind of get messages in the dreams. They kind of come to you and kind of show themselves. You're being guided, yes. And you have a very strong intuition. You kind of follow your heart space and your soul. And they're always your guidance to what comes next. But I feel like we need to recalculate route, kind of recalculate finances. We want to get things back on track. This also makes sense to you, yes?
Yes, because it's like, it's like finance hasn't been good.
Yes.
It's like finance, I can say finance just shut down. But it's like, like I spoke with you a while ago. You told me, my business will pick up,
Yes.
So it's like, hopefully it will pick up. And I did see you the other time at the store when I came. Did you get your present? Did you like it?
I did. I love it. Thank you so much for my mug. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
And so when I look at this energy, let me just tell you this, that steady and slowly the business grows. Steady and slowly you build momentum. Steady and slowly the doors open up for the right connections with people. I also see a strong presence, Franz, of a woman who stands above you. She stands connected to you in the grandmother energy, your mother's mother. She passed, yes? correct? Very influential energy in your life. This is true, yes?
Yes.
She holds the energy of her heart, and she makes me feel like she had so much love for you that pours out to you. She brings you her cup of love, and she makes me feel as if she always made that there was some warm food, something good to eat in front of you to make sure that you always felt loved and taken care of. Is this true?
It is true.
I know.
I would be that strong.
She is with you. And she's been helping you along this journey.
She always has my back. It's like, sometimes people will refer me as her. They say, your heart is so good, like your grandmother. And it's like, I'll tell people, I say, she's always with me. And sometimes people say, how can you say she's always with you? I'm like, she passed away a long time ago.
Yes.
But it's like sometimes I feel like people will look at me and they will say, oh my God, we can see your grandmother in you.
In your light, in your eyes. She dwells almost as if her essence has merged with yours. And it's this beautiful dance that she does. And please understand that she will never let you fall. She will never let you fall.
Thank you.
So you just continue your conversations with God, which have been plenty. Know that grandmother is with you. And that when you sit down with a bowl of food, she seems to like to serve food into bowls, a bowl of food, she will always be with you.
My grandma teach me how to cook. Yes. And to this day, I still make her recipe. Yeah. And to this day, my mom will say, can you please go make me food like my mom used to do? Because I'm the only one that can do it.
Right. And so she will live on through you. And everything you do, she's quite proud of. Just trust that the universe has a very special surprise coming for you, that things will come together. And
you made my day.
You're welcome, honey. I'm so glad I was able to connect with you. And thank you for visiting my center in West Palm Beach, the Expedito Enlightenment Center. We're very grateful that you pop in and you share your energy and get some of the items that we have. We appreciate that. Thank you so much.
I can tell you, I can never thank you enough.
You're welcome.
You really helped me because it's like you were able to give me the answer that I've been searching for, that I've been telling people. And people look at me, they say, no, she's been gone for too long. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to be okay. And it's like I know my family is going to be okay, even though, the thing that just happened,
Yes, it's very difficult in your country, yeah.
It's like, but, I'm glad. I'm glad that I'm going to be able to bounce back and help my family back home.
You will. And God bless everyone in Haiti because we know they're going through a difficult time. Thank you so much, honey. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you. Bye. 888-565-1470. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we want to talk to you, Tampa, at WHFS. We want to talk to you, WWNN, here in sunny South Florida. We want to kind of have our conversations with God, talking to God, the angels, even our loved ones are coming through. So stay with us. We're going to be right back here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Sarah Spiritual, and we are spiritually speaking with all of you all across the nation, right here on WHFS and WWNN. And we are welcoming your phone calls at 888-565-1470. And we're going to go back to our phone lines. We just finished answering some questions on Facebook and YouTube. We're going to be popping back to my friends on Facebook and YouTube. And please share the page, share the light, share the love. We would love to share all of this. But I've got to go to Miami. I've got Lisa on the line. Lisa, how are you?
Hi, Sarah. I'm okay.
You've been better. You've been better. My spirit guides tell me, you're like, I'm okay. They're like, no, she's not.
No, she's not.
Been better. She's trying to sound polite because she's on radio. But I've got to tell you that the energy here around you is, if we could get you past the dark spot, hear me. There's great expansion for you in areas of finance, and personal relationships, and this is going to all pass. We need to get you there. And in the moment of the chaos that you're in, it looks like chaos to me. You don't know which way to turn. You have to be still. And you have to do what makes you feel is the right next step for you. I feel as if you've been putting so many other people and stories in front of your story that you've kind of lost your personal way, and you can't find your way out of what looks like a bit of a circle mess of circumstances and people, and it just looks like a mess. Is that true, Lisa?
It's very true.
Yeah. I'm looking at what looks like, I don't know, somebody's just kind of making this really funky stuff and then they're just throwing everything in it. We're going to go bake it, but it looks a mess. Like that's how your energy is. So I feel like people are trying to push you to do things that you don't want to do and handle things a certain way. And you're like, no, that doesn't make sense. You're like the solid, strong person, but I feel like everyone's put too much weight on you. What is your question, Lisa?
Specifically, because as you know, I live with my son, and right now we don't have rent money for this month, and I just got the job, a new job, and I'm working from home.
Correct.
And I've been taking steps to make my life better, but I don't have money to just, up and leave tomorrow. And now, I'm afraid we're going to be facing eviction, and so I just need to know if this month's going to be okay or if it's going to get worse or what, because I'm just trying to tread water,
Well, Lisa, the first of the month isn't here yet.
No, it's past. It's for August.
Oh, for August, okay.
Yeah, we were expecting money and we didn't get it, and we're way past the 3-day notice.
Okay.
So, it's like it's been rocky the last few months, and I don't want to talk anymore about what my son's doing because I just, I give up. He doesn't communicate with me.
Right.
And so, week to week, I don't know what's going on. And
well, you have to trust that in the end, things are going to work out for you. You have to trust this. And this is your time of, as we get through the darkness of it, that we will come through this and something magnificent and expansive and great will happen. And, it's interesting when I have a call come in, how many Lisas I know, I don't know who I'm going to talk to. Now, as I'm knee deep in the story, I'm going, oh, wait a minute. I know who this is.
You know who this is, yeah.
But I didn't know who it is until we got into this little part of the energy of your finances. But I say this to you. There's a way to circumvent some of this. We also know that there's a lot going on in the world. So you just trust that something great is going to happen for you.
Okay.
And just ask the universe to shower you with something unexpected so that you can meet the rent, and something will happen. And maybe what you were expecting will come a little later.
Okay.
Don't rule it out as a possibility.
Okay.
And I do believe that there's some programs in place, and if I were you, I would go call some of the programs and see if they can give you some rent assistance, because part of the financial hiccup is that your son in particular, you weren't working, now you just started working, but your son in particular is influenced, his industry is influenced by the pandemic as far as how much work he has. Therefore,
he's afraid that they want, tons of paperwork, which he doesn't have, I mean, all last year was a wash, and lost his car, everything, and so being in business for yourself, if you don't have income coming in the door, you don't have any records of income,
Well, so but he can show what his last taxes were or the time before, and you just have to go with what you have.
That's what I told him. It's like I'm fighting a uphill battle.
Okay, but then, so you have to make sure that you know what you would do if you have to go your separate ways.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you that he could grow up a lot faster and you would be at a lot more peace, because I just know that somewhere you would find a spot. Now that you have your little work from home job, you would be fine in a teeny little spot somewhere.
Yeah.
So when things and I say this to you, Lisa, and everyone, when the universe prompts us, nudges us, pushes us to have to let go of things, even though that's not what we want and it's not ideal, if all else fails, then let go. God always has a safety net underneath us and takes us and lifts us up to something even greater.
Yeah. When I first moved here 3 years ago, he really helped me out because mentally I was, starting to go into a funk again. And so that's why I feel like I can't just leave,
Well, it's not a matter of leaving. It's a matter of you make sure you have something for yourself in case he can't do it.
Right.
You can't both fall. Are you going to drown because the person next to you is drowning, or are you going to try to save yourself? And if you can get yourself up, you'll pull them to safety too. But if they don't want to help themselves and swim a little or float or stay still at least, then how are you going to save them? You cannot.
Right.
And your son is a grown man. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know.
So, all right.
Yeah, we're totally opposites. See, that's the other thing.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Lisa, it doesn't matter. Stop making excuses.
Okay.
Okay, he is a grown man. Take the training wheels off. If his bicycle crashes, he will pick himself up and get up again.
Right.
But if you keep holding the handlebar, he will never fall and he'll never know how to pick himself up.
Right.
All right, my dear, it'll be fine. Just keep it on. Don't worry. This too is a test from the emergency spiritual broadcasting system, and this will pass. All right, my dear, thank you so much.
I really appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye. 888-565-1470. I've got to go to Karen, and she's in closing of doors, closing of chapters. It's a time for change. Some of the things that you need to let go of and draw boundaries for are important. It'll be a time of endings, and I want you to look at endings as beginnings. The pet who passed in the past year, please. Yes?
Pardon?
The pet who passed in the past year?
Yeah, a few days ago.
Okay. I see the pet recent passing. They measure time in less than a year, a short time. So your pet is right there at your feet. I thought it was saying Peter Piper picks a peck of pickled peppers because I was like a pet passing. But the pet is right there before you. I see that energy there. I'm also going to say that, what was the wrapping? Did we wrap something for the pet, or you wrapped your pet when they passed, please? What is this?
I mean, she was wrapped in a blanket, but I just want to make sure that I did the right thing.
You did the right thing. They show her wrapped in the blanket. Okay, I see this wrapping in a blanket, and almost like you would nuzzle a baby wrapped in a blanket. This is how I see your pet. So your pet is very much around you, snug as a bug, wrapped in this blanket, and most certainly at peace. And you had to do what was necessary at the time. And it was a rough year for this pet. Is that also true, please?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So there was a kind of deterioration going on. That's all we have for you at this very moment, because we are getting ready to close our first hour. Welcome to the show. I don't know if you've ever called before, but we hope you continue to follow us. Well, how'd you hear about the show?
I just heard you on the radio just now for the first time.
Well, welcome. We're here every Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m. Visit us next Wednesday. We'll catch you back. All right, my dear?
Okay, wonderful.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. 888-565-1470. Come on, WHFS. Don't leave us here hanging in the first hour. As you can tell, we got some cliffhangers coming into the second hour. Follow us on WWNN 888-565-1470. Stay with us. We'll be right back for our second hour.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. Phone lines are open at 1-888-565-1470. That's 1-888-565-1470.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored
is through, and you need someone to talk to. Lay your head upon me and tell me everything. When your day is long and you've lost some battles and you're weary, you can turn to me, and I will be your safe haven in this crazy world that we live in. And we lose ourselves every day. You can turn to me and count on me to be there every step of the way. I'm your safe haven every day. When you're thinking I can hear you, I am with you now, and every step of the way in this crazy world we live in. We lose ourselves every day. When you feel like you're lost and you don't know where you are, I will guide you to be in the safe haven with me. In this crazy world we live in every day, it's so easy to lose the way. So if you know in your heart I'm with you every step, you will find safe haven today. You will find safe haven today. Safe haven today.
Ones, your spirit guides and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome back to the second hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions and to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in. 888-565-1470. 888-565-1470. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube. And you can share the love and light.
There's a light that shines down upon me, and there's a light that brightens up my day. There's a light leading the way. Oh, there's a light.
Oh, yes, there is a light right here on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, 96.9. And we're answering your questions all across the nation at 888-565-1470. And we sure hope our friends at WHFS, they popped on over from Tampa and came on over to South Florida on WWNN. Sure hope you continue to follow the conversation. We're having conversations with God tonight. We're answering your questions. We got to see what's going on our friends on Facebook. Let's see who's got a question on Facebook before I go back to my phone lines at 888-565-1470. And we've got our YouTube people, so let's take a look at YouTube. Schwartz, I am strong enough to overcome health difficulties, reach spiritual heights pointed out to me, and live far beyond my 60th year. Thank you for helping everyone. Your life is a blessing. So they give us their birthday here. So I'm going to just say, yes, you are in this very strong energy. And I will say that this is going to be an important year for you to make some of the right connections to stay strong and to stay on path for your spiritual journey. So thank you, Schwartz, for your YouTube comments. We appreciate that greatly. And, of course, we send you many blessings on your health. Bye for now. Who else do we have? We have our friends at Facebook. We got Yanni. And Yanni says, what does my spirit say about my finances? Yanni, I got to tell you, it's time to kind of wipe the slate clean, clear up some past financial matters so that we can have a new beginning, a fresh start. And when I look at the money situation, I feel like, okay, Yanni, we've got some work opportunities that we've got to kind of fine tune. There's going to be some movement and advancement, perhaps a new job coming in the energy of the month of October into November. So look for that. That'll be coming soon. Time to get those finances on the road again and heading in a positive direction. And don't leave some financial matters hanging because they could come and bite you in the proverbial you know what. Thanks so much, Yanni, for your Facebook question. I got to go back to the phone lines. I've got Dorothy, and she's in Rhode Island. Dorothy, how are you tonight?
I'm well. I'm well.
Great, Dorothy. Good to make this connection with you.
Thank you. I appreciate you and I appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
I wanted, first of all, to know what Spirit says about my finances because I really want to be out of debt by the first of the year.
Okay, we're going to take a look at the energy around you first, if we can here. So, all right. So they tell me that you feel a little stuck, a little stagnant, feeling like you're in a box. And the energy needs to move, and we need to kind of shift this. And when I look at the energy, I know you say the beginning of the year, but I feel as if there's some things that you've got to kind of calculate a little differently. When I look at the finances, financially things open up. This is why I see it feeling a little, I can breathe. It kind of moves in the energy of March and April of next year. So I know the goal is the beginning of the year, but it's really more March, April. If I go to calculate the numbers of what we have, and I also feel that there's some things that you may want to take care of, and you may kind of slow up on paying off or down something in order to take care of some things in the month of October. I'm kind of also looking at you building some new community. You want to be a little more footloose and fancy free. You don't want to feel restricted. And you feel like you've been living in a box through this pandemic. I know we all have felt that way. And you're ready to pop out of the box. And you really want your freedom. And your freedom by that is this expressive bright light that you bring to the table. You seem to influence many people in your way and your energy. So we want to kind of get you in a path that allows you to feel that harmony and joy that you used to feel, because this has been very restrictive for you, especially personally. That makes sense to you, yes?
Yes, it does.
Okay. What is your other question for me, Dorothy?
My question is, I wanted to also look into a totally different line of work, and I just wanted to see if if I should pursue that now or wait until the middle of next year. Or what do you see?
I'm seeing the month of May brings new April showers, bring May flowers. May brings rebirth, so they make me feel like the month of May will give you something to do that's really a bit more less restrictive, something a little bit more creative, something that is a different line of work that has to do with something that's more consultative, that's more your business, Dorothy. Is that true? Something you kind of call the shots on?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's what I see coming for you in the month of May. Dorothy, when I step in the energy, there's a gentleman who's on the other side, and I have to acknowledge him because he stands above you. Makes me feel as if he's father energy. Your father passed, please, Dorothy?
Yeah.
Okay. And he's tapping his leg, and so was something wrong with his leg before he passed, or did he have like a anxious foot or something? Because he's kind of tapping his foot here.
Well, no. When we all got together to play cards or watch baseball games or basketball games or any sports, he would always, his legs would be like jumping, but he would always come and tap you on the knee or on the thigh.
Okay,
and
so if you were here with me, you would see me tapping my leg, tapping my knee. That's what I'm doing here. This is what he's doing. So he's bringing me this, and it's like he's there and he's with you. He's anxiously awaiting what comes next for you as you come out of the box here. And so he stepped forward before you even asked a question. I wanted to let you know that. I'm like, why is this guy like kind of jiggling his foot and tapping his foot, and what's going on here? So this is the energy he brings. So he's with you, and I guess it's time for you to just go play ball and have some fun.
Yeah.
And he's looking after you, my dear. He is. All right. You're welcome, Dorothy. Is this your first time calling the show?
No, it is not.
Okay. Well, thank you for continuing to follow the show. We greatly appreciate you. And bye for now. Bye.
Thank you kindly. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Bye, Dorothy.
Bye.
Bye-bye. 888-565-1470. And we've got to go to Lila, and she's in Delray. I think I said that right. Lila, how are you?
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing great.
Thank you so much for everything you do for all of us in these times of, everyone's stressed, everyone's dealing with something. Thank you.
You're welcome. And, very interesting. My spirit guides tell me you want to take out your crayons. You want to start to put new color in your life, new vibration, new sense in life. They talk about birthing a new vision of your personal life, almost like a new landscape. Is there thought and idea that we might make some changes in residence or move in the very near future, please?
Yes, you hit it right on the nail.
Okay.
And I don't know what's going to happen because in Florida it's just so hard finding a place right now, but I don't have a choice. I have to be out of here in 30 days, and I can't seem to find a place.
Okay. Well, you will move. Something will happen. Maybe we are going to look in an area that maybe would not be where we would normally look, but I want you to look. Something will come up. It is time to move on, and everything will work out for you. And when I look at the energy, I say to you this. Take out the crayons, color a new version of the picture. Perhaps you're trying to duplicate what you've had, and what you've had isn't serving you anymore.
Okay.
So I want you to look into creating something bigger and better for yourself.
Okay.
All right. There's a great financial wellness that comes for you at the end of this year. So I feel like you'll have enough money. I know sometimes when we're in a place and then we go to move, it's significantly more is what I'm hearing. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Well, just you set the intention of what you want to find, and you will find something that is going to help you in your move.
Okay. Perfect.
All right.
I don't know if you can pick the energy, but something is telling me that I must ask you.
Yes.
During this move, I've been with someone for quite a while, 6 years to be exact, and this person moved close to me, but is not wanting to make that move with me, and I don't want to push it, but it seems like destiny is showing me like maybe this is not it.
So when we look at I'm laughing because I'm not laughing at you, but I'm like, okay, so the first word I wrote on my paper here is no.
Okay.
So when I look at the energy, if they do not want to or cannot come for whatever reason they give you,
Yes.
then you let them sit in the decision they made and you plan accordingly for you.
Okay.
Okay, love finds a way, and if they're not able to make that change,
Yes.
then another love will enter.
Okay.
Okay, we have
Thank
to
you.
be willing to let go of the attachments and the things that we think how they should be.
You're
And
correct.
and we need to just let them be what they are, and then be strong enough to recognize it. You know, the world's in such a state of change. We have to acknowledge that, and that as the world is changing, we're seeing people in a different light, and it's kind of helping us vibrationally align with those who have the same frequency as we do, and none being lesser or greater, just being we need to be vibrationally matched. So
Exactly. Maybe he's not loving someone, but maybe he's not longer being in love with that person.
Yes, and I also see that Archangel Michael is with you. He's the angel of protection, very strong. And I also see she calls herself the Miraculous Mary, Virgin Milagrosa. Are you familiar with Mother Mary, please?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I actually I prayed to a virgin today as I was going to a court thing with this living situation, and I spoke to her and I said, "Please help me out."
Okay. And she will, and the Blessed Mother is with you. So Archangel Michael represents scales of justice as well. So Michael and Mother Mary, whom you prayed to this morning, which I did not know, but apparently Mary's in the house. So she's got you covered, honey. If she can find a place for Jesus to be born, I'm sure she can put a roof over your head too. All right.
Oh, Sarah, thank you so much.
You're welcome, honey. Try not to worry. It'll work out somehow. All right?
I will do that.
Somehow.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye for now.
Bye.
You know, everyone, we're hearing about some difficulties and how we're going to live and how we're going to pay our bills. And so many people are kind of almost faced with being homeless at this very minute. So when you do your conversations with God, put in a prayer for them too, because not everybody's there because they created their own problem. Some people are there because life has changed and they weren't able to change along with it, and the circumstances have created just a fine mess. And everyone's kind of feeling a little off balance. You know, speaking of the world is changing, Spirit gave me a song at the onset of this pandemic, and I'm going to play that song. I'm going to have our board up, kind of loaded up. The world is changing now. We're going to play that for a minute because I want us all to be in the energy of recognizing that life may not be the same, but there's a message in all of it so that we can recognize that something powerful is happening, and each one of us has the ability to shift and change along with the world because we are resourceful and resilient. And of course, we are governed by our conversations and our intentions with the divine. So take a listen, and then after that, we'll go to our break. And then we'll be back for more questions here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
The world is changing now, and we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart. The ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone. We have hurt each other. The world is changing now. It's asking us to move along, to open up a different way of loving one another. We can't stay the same. We've lost the game of life. We can't run away anymore. The world is changing now. We need to heed the warning. The world is calling you to rise above where you've been. The world is changing now. What we did before doesn't work. It's time for you. It's time for me to change. The world is changing now. Won't you change and open your heart?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Yes, indeed. I've been standing in the room. Where have you been? I'm right here at WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And we're answering your questions all across the nation at 888-565-1470. And we've got to go to the phone lines. I got to go back to Connecticut. We started in Connecticut, and Connecticut seems to be hopping here. So I got to go to Connecticut. I've got Paul on the line. Paul, how are you tonight?
I'm doing
great, Paul.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, Paul. This is really going to be an interesting time for you. This is a time for you to kind of get ready to expand, but it's also a time for you to focus on you and getting things in order the way you want them to be. Does this make sense to you, Paul?
Yeah, a little bit, yep.
Okay, you've got to get a clear head on your shoulders on what it is you want, what you're willing to do to achieve what you want, and also work on doing some healing within yourself. Are you working on healing, please?
Actually, I'm gonna be having surgery tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I've been out of work, so yeah, and I have surgery tomorrow.
Okay, and it's a minor surgery, though, yes?
Yeah, it's for a hernia.
Okay. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Just a little uncomfortable for a while, but you'll be fine. And then you'll be out of work for a few more weeks, yes?
Yeah.
And then, was this an injury at the job, please? Was it caused by work?
Yeah, I think it was developed over time.
Okay. Well, this should clear it up, and you'll have to be a little careful for a while, but then my spirit guides give you a clean bill of health, and you will be fine. What's your question for us, Paul, tonight?
I just want to see how it's going to be, the few months ahead, especially with my relationship, since it's been, hasn't been that good for a while, because my girlfriend's been away,
Mm-hmm.
and things have been a little like not too good.
Mm-hmm.
And then she came back, and things seem going to be okay. But I hope that they will, continue to be okay. So,
Well, Paul, this has been an opportunity for you, according to my spirit guides, to reflect and see what you could have done better when your girlfriend was in town. Is that true?
Yeah.
And it's also the opportunity that you both needed to grow as individuals, because there was some, and this is coming from spirit, there was some kind of toxic behavior that would build up between the two of you by being together. And so hopefully you both have grown over this separation. You see, that's how relationships grow. They have some rough patches, even gets a little toxic, a little uncomfortable, and then the individuals have an opportunity to grow. So for sure your girlfriend has grown. I know that you've noticed that. So you have to step into the role of being the grown version of the man that you want to be, not the boy that you were behaving like. I know you have a lot of responsibility. I know you have a lot on your plate. But this is a time for you to be a role model as well. There's a daughter involved as well. Yes, you have a daughter?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So we want to be the role model for our daughter as well. So this is going to be an important time. So the relationship requires more conversation, also requires a little bit of counseling. And if you both follow that protocol, then perhaps you can come up with an agreement of something that works for you moving forward. I know that your girlfriend does genuinely like the energy here in Florida, so maybe you'll be able to find a way to find yourself down here in sunny South Florida.
Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
Never know.
I got a lot going on up here.
Well, sometimes a good thing to do is just step away. Step away.
True.
All right, Paul, we send you much love and many blessings and a lot of healing from our angels for tomorrow's surgery. We'll keep you in our prayers for tomorrow's surgery. Thank you so much, Paul, for following the show and calling. We greatly appreciate you. Bye for now.
No problem. Thank you.
Bye. 888-565-1470. I've got to go to Miami. I've got Gabby on the line. Gabby, how are you tonight?
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing great, Gabby. Good to connect with you. Have you called before, Gabby?
No, I have not.
Okay. Well, we welcome you. How did you hear about the show?
My aunt recently asked, and she told me about you, and I decided that I wanted to try it out.
Okay, great. So, Gabby, we talk to the angels and the guides, and we bring you messages that help you navigate life and kind of feel like you're trying to make some decisions and choices here because you are still in the process of your growing up time. So what are your questions for us?
So my question is, I like this guy, but I want to know if he likes me back.
Okay. Do you know his birthday, please?
Yeah, his birthday is August 11th.
So he's got a lot of charisma, a lot of personality, yes? Is there something about him, yes? He has a very good energy to him. And yes, I do feel that he likes you, and I do feel that he is very kind of flirty with you. Does that make sense? Yes, he's kind of sending you signals. Is this true?
Yes.
Okay. And I feel as if there's a mutual interest. It's going to have to let time play out because, you are just getting to know each other. But I will also tell you this, Gabby, that he's also a very proud guy, and I feel like he's trying to accomplish things in school. Is he like a year older than you or something?
Yeah.
Okay. So the energy of him makes me feel like, is he involved in a sport or something, please? Or something he's trying to accomplish in school?
Yeah, he's in soccer.
Okay. So I feel like that's where his head is at. That's an important focus for him. So you want to just kind of be a part of his support team and see how the relationship will develop. It's kind of like a fun little connection between the two of you. So do pursue this, Gabby. Just remember that soccer and what his goals are really important to him. So you have to know that the focus for him is not to be in a relationship. It's really to focus on his sport and his creation of moving forward. I actually feel like he'd like to get a scholarship and move on and do some more with his sport. He's kind of all into his sport. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Gabby. I hope I've answered your question for you tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for calling, and tell your aunt I said thank you for sending you our way. Welcome to our family.
Yeah, of course.
Bye for now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
888-565-1470. I got to go to Boca right here in South Florida, and I got Jarbos on the line. Let's hear what Jarbos has to say. Jarbos, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Jarbos, is this your first time calling into the show?
It is my first time calling into the show.
How did you hear about us?
Via the radio.
Okay. Well, thank you for hanging out at the radio. So it's good to know people are still listening to the radio. So, Jarbos, what's your question for us here? This is a time for you to kind of break the rhythm, the routine, break out of the limitations, make some changes, kind of feel like work is something that we've got to make a change in so we can up our finances. So what is your question?
My question is there more of a utopian sort of promise that I can find a relationship in the locale that I live in, domicile? And is there any promise in holding on and not moving on in the domicile locale in that respect of spirit, of good spirit?
In the energy and the spirit of love, anything that is an attachment that we feel as if we must hold on to and literally squeeze the life from is not healthy. But in the utopian energetic flow of love, divine partnership is never connected to just a singular locale, nor does it have to be located in our backyard. But if I understand you, you're asking if there is a partner for you. Is this correct?
Well, my relationships are insoluble where I'm living, and I would be looking for a more utopian
spiritual connection, yes,
prowess and strength that is going towards the right postulates, towards the right one way of humanitarian help, in knowing that I have many problems, but I don't have time to talk about all of them.
Right. So let me say this to you. That love is the ultimate power, and that love will come to help quell any limitations. Remember, I said this is the year we break out of limitations. And I feel as if you know that your soul is destined to make a difference in the world. This is true, yes? And it is the question of the articulation as to how we will do this, yes? So as I step you out of the box, it is not limited to the confines of South Florida. Rather, it is going to take you out of South Florida and take you into the energy of another state eventually. So we will no longer live in South Florida. We will live outside the state. And then ideally, I see, because there's a spirit around you, there's a spiritual energy around you of someone who is blessed and really desired to travel and be around the world. But this is not possible at this time. But when I look at the energy, they make me aware of you will be there. Yes.
But there are prerequisites that you have to fly back and forth, even though no airplane is the same, no trip is the same.
Right.
Do you have to fly back and forth endless times to attain what you're talking about?
No. It's not about going back and forth. It's from going from one experience to the next, to the next, to the next, and they're not limited to all around travel. It's just that what you seek does not reside here in Florida. The experience, the connection, it does not reside in Florida. It is out of Florida.
That is true.
Yes. Well, they're getting ready to take me into commercial, but I do hope that I have been...
It is in God's time, in our spirit ways.
In God's time, in our spirit's ways, in the divine spirit that knows no time nor boundary, we are in the infinite space of the divine love. So thank you, Jorbos, for your call.
Thank you. And
You're welcome.
blessed to you and your radio.
Thank you so
Stay
much.
strong.
God bless you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
888-565-1470. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we're answering questions on Facebook, questions on YouTube. Go to Sarah Spiritual at Facebook, YouTube, and even pop on over to my Instagram page. We got a lot going on over there, too, so stay with us, everyone. We are going to be right back.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
And we are back here live on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And we're answering your questions all across the nation. If you didn't get your call in, you might as well try now at 888-565-1470. We've got just a few minutes left to the show, and we've got some calls holding, and we're committed to taking as many calls as possible. I want to make an announcement. We have Calvin Cates of the Crystal Healing Bed. He will be doing crystal healing bed services at our center, the Expedito Enlightenment Center, this Friday and Saturday. We have a 20-minute or 30-minute session that you can get. It's only $2 a minute. If you want to balance out your chakras, balance out your energy, and step into my sacred space of my healing, then visit us at the ExpeditoEnlightenmentCenter.com, and you can learn more information. Call the center so that you can schedule your time. I think he still has a few more spots available. That's Calvin Cate with our crystal healing bed. It originates from Brazil, and these crystals have been formulated to help transmit the energies and frequencies of the highest divine to clear your energy of emotional and physical ailments and traumas. So it's a very powerful tool. We look forward to having you at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. And we also want you to pop on over and pick up your full moon supplies, because we got a full moon not once but twice in the month of August, and I really know that this beautiful moon is going to give you such powerful energy so that you can release and clear all the things that you wish to release at this time. So our full moon collection offers you the spray, it offers you the oil, the candle, and a parchment for you to write your intention, as well as our full moon bath. So by the light of the beautiful full moon, you can create and release things that no longer serve you and begin to get ready for the next moon cycle, which will be in September. So visit us at the ExpeditoEnlightenmentCenter.com. Cannot come in live? Then visit our new website, ExpeditoEnlightenmentCenter.com. That's EXPEDITO EnlightenmentCenter.com. And let's go to our Facebook and our YouTube friends before we pop on over to Miami. We've got some calls hanging on in Miami. We got Lenora Weiss, and she says, hi, I'm in Virginia Beach, and she gives us our energy. I used to think I knew what my calling and purpose was, but now I'm not sure. Is there anything? So she wants a message about her calling and her purpose. And Leonora Weiss, your energy is to give people the energy of comfort and healing, and you are a great speaker and very inspirational. And your calling is no longer the person who's been conditioned to the ways of the world, but for you to be the free spirit and to articulate. And I particularly see you're articulating your thoughts and your ideas and your words in some type of writing, be it a blog, a video blog, or perhaps even a book. So thank you, Lenora Weiss, for your Facebook question. We're going to take another call or question from Facebook or YouTube. We've got Yvette Vega Sharon. And Yvette says, how do I stay positive in the midst of the changes impacting me? Will I be okay? You will be okay. This is a year that's meant to shake you up financially so that you could step into a new belief system around money and finances. I see new work, new opportunities that come to you, financial growth, and it really gets started in a positive direction in the month of October. So hang on, baby, hang on. The universe has your back, and they're going to drop a line. I think there's some money tied to it too. So grab the money, grab the line, and they're going to lift you up and over out of this, what seems to be a spiraling of energy that makes you feel as if you can't do it any longer. Thank you, Yvette Vega Sharon, because you are here with us on Facebook, and we appreciate you. We're going to take one more question from Facebook before I go to Susie in Miami. I've got Marty Allen. Marty Allen says, hello, I've been taking time off to empty my backpack in preparation for the transition into the next phase of my life's journey. So, Marty, it is time for your new phase of life's journey, and it's your time to be true to yourself. Please remember that the most important gift that you can give yourself is that of balance, sustaining your finance and commercially connected career, and then also maintaining the energy of your personal life, and then, of course, enlightening ourselves with the energy of God. This, Marty Allen, is going to be a time of your life. So just look at the photographs and all the frames that have been in your mind, but I really hope that you have the time of your life, because this is the time where new memories, new experiences, and the shift to a new paradigm will take place. And it really gets going for you in the month of September. So thanks so much, Marty Allen, for following the show. We're going to go back to our phone lines at 888-565-1470. We're kind of talking to God tonight, and we just want to see what our questions are. And we've got Susie from Miami on the line. Susie, how are you?
Oh, fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Susie, is this your first time calling into the show?
It is.
Susie, how did you hear about the show?
I was driving home from work, and I heard you on the radio.
Well, wonderful. We welcome you into our show tonight. You know, Susie, let me just tell you a little bit about the energy around you. The energy around you says, who am I? Who have I come to be? What is my mission? What's the purpose? What's my meaning of life? As I turn into the energy of all that's going around, the clatter and the clinking of life's problems, I realize that I'm more than within my soul than who the world has kind of tried to dictate that I am. And you're really stepping to your own personal spiritual power. It's like the mission that's driving you, the purpose is driving you, the understanding of the meaning of life, and that life is precious. And I feel as if you are so drawn to this because through recent loss of loved one on the other side, this makes you feel as if there's more to life than what we've been led to believe here on earth, and you're searching for that balance in your life. Does that make any sense to you, Susie?
I guess kind of.
Okay. This is the journey of your soul, okay?
Right.
It's stepping into your soul purpose.
Okay.
And that was Spirit just coming through to me. So go on Facebook or YouTube and listen back. It's at the very end of the show to what I said, because I'm sure when you really listen to the words, because I can't even repeat what I said, because it was just Spirit just channeling right through me, Susie.
Oh, really? It's that strong?
Yes, it's that strong, the energy around you, and the deciding of the mission and the direction that your life is meant to take. Susie, so what is your question for us, please?
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for that. I just had a question. My father passed away 5 years ago, and my mom has been searching for I don't want to say exactly a new boyfriend, but a new gentleman to spend the rest of her
time with,
her future, her lifetime together.
Yes.
And I was wondering, do you see anybody? She's had several dates, but none of them work out.
Okay.
Do you see her finding anybody?
For the people who are watching me here on Facebook and YouTube, I already had drawn a line here on the paper which represents the other side. I have the word father and something about the father and your energy of love. So this is the energy of love. So yes, your mom is going to find love without knowing your question. That is part of what was channeled to me on my paper that I was scribbling. So I already know your father is with you. Your father's energy is very strong around you. When I was referencing that there's more to the meaning of life in this life that we've conditioned ourselves to think it is, it's in the loss and the mourning of your father that you've come to understand that life is precious and life is suddenly taken and ends in a way that we have to live to the fullest. And that was the purpose of what I said. That was Spirit's interpretation that the meaning of life is so much more than the conditions that we've had. And yes, your mom will find love. She will have a partner, a companion, someone who she's comfortable with. Your mom's being a little guarded, so she's not really attracting people who are really showing up for her. And she's really ready for a different type of relationship. She's really ready for someone to keep her company rather than be in the traditional matrimonial confines of some of the traditional life that she lived earlier on. So she's looking for a different dynamic and paradigm in a love relationship. And this will come to her. What is Mother's birthday, please?
August 24th.
Okay. So perfect. So this year is a year of her kind of closing out a cycle for herself. And as she moves into next year, it's a clean, fresh start. And next year opens up the energy of finding love partnership. And between 2022 into the very beginning of 2023, there's about a 14-month window. That's when she's going to meet someone that she feels comfortable with. And do understand that your father is very much with you. And siblings, we have 3 in the total in the family, or 3 siblings. He's giving me the number 3. What is that, please?
Oh, yeah, there's 3 siblings.
Okay, great.
Right.
Okay, I know they give it to me fast, so I'm sorry. Sometimes it's hard for me to keep up with me, but so the father does make me, the father makes me aware that there's 3 siblings. Okay, so he's with you all, and he's ready for your mom to have this connection of a friend, and in the energy of your father's passing, he makes me feel as if he didn't get to say everything he wanted to say to everybody, but he wants everyone to know that he did the best that he could, and he did his best to show up as a good role model, even though he knows he failed at times. Does this make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So he's sending you all much love, especially you who's formed this connection with us. I have a feeling he's going to pop in again sometime. So know that he is with you. He's with your mom. And is mom getting ready to do something different in her house or move or something? She's reorchestrating, redecorating something. She's moving things around?
Yes, she is.
Okay. He's there in on that. So I guess if she doesn't get rid of too much of his stuff, he'll be fine. So,
okay.
Your dad's got to be in charge over here. But, sweetheart, thank you so much for calling. I hope that I have been of service to you. And
no, you are wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. And if you want to listen to this back again, go to Sarah Spiritual on Facebook or YouTube. Go to the very end of the 2-hour show that began at 6. So at about the 6:50 mark, that's when you and I began our conversation. So thanks so much.
Okay.
Welcome to our family.
Thank you.
Bye for now, Susie.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
888-565-1470. Write that number down. I want to talk to you next Wednesday night from 6 to 8 p.m. here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. If you would like to have a personal session with me, Sarah Spiritual, please go to sarahspiritual.com. There you'll find all the products that I create, sprays, oils, baths, all sorts of products for your spiritual connection, as well as all the different sessions that I offer. It's time for us to get ready for fall. We've got some new classes we'll be debuting, and I sure hope to meet you in West Palm Beach if you're ever close to the Expedito Enlightenment Center. Learn more about my center in West Palm Beach and my work, again, at sarahspiritual.com. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing time and space with us. Yes, the world is changing, and we're all having a little bit of difficulty figuring out what it looks like. But just know that God is in charge, and any conversation you have is heard, acknowledged, and God will always prevail. Thanks so much, everyone, for listening. Good night. Stay well. God bless you. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
That shines down upon me.
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answers your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at sarahspiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. with more from Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff,